What if I told you the secrets to outsmarting everybody else and getting ahead aren't some dark, conspiratorial art? What if they were based on principles developed, tested, and perfected by the world's most elite intelligence officers? When you hear CIA, you probably think of gadgets, car chases, and international intrigue, but the real power of an intelligence officer isn't in their equipment. It's in their mind. It's their ability to understand people, to see the world as a chessboard, and to stay calm when everyone else is panicking. This isn't a guide to espionage. You won't be learning how to pick locks or disappear into thin air. This is a look at how former CIA agents apply their elite skills in observation, influence, and strategic thinking to dominate in the boardroom, in negotiations, and in their own personal lives. This is your playbook for success. Here's what they do and how you can do it too. Part 1. Mastering Social Dynamics, the Art of Rapport. First, let's talk about mastering the human element. This is the foundation of everything. Spies don't kick down doors, they are given the key. They open doors with trust, and building that trust, that genuine rapport, is your #1 asset in any field. Topic 1. The economy of secrets. Think of information like currency, not just classified data, but personal information. Everyone has secrets, vulnerabilities, and aspirations. Knowing how to handle them is power. Former intelligence officers understand that you don't just dump all your information on the table at once. You trade it strategically. This is the economy of secrets. The goal is to create a bond by showing vulnerability, which encourages the other person to reciprocate. For example, imagine you're in a meeting with a potential client who seems reserved. Instead of just listing your company's achievements, you might say, this project reminds me of a challenge we faced a couple of years ago. We almost missed a major deadline, and frankly, I was worried. It took a really creative solution to pull it off. What did you just do? You didn't reveal a state secret, you revealed a minor, relatable story of struggle and success. You traded a small piece of your own history to get them to open up. Suddenly, they might share a major professional challenge they're facing right now. This isn't manipulation, it's creating leverage through empathy. It's recognizing that information is a resource to be managed, not a stream to be freely given. Topic 2. Build rapport creatively. You've been told a million times to be likable or to find common ground, but that advice is often too logical. Oh, you like golf? I like golf too. It's superficial. The CIA teaches a more creative, right-brain approach. It's not about memorizing facts about someone, it's about finding common ground through shared human experience. Instead of just listing your credentials, tell a brief, interesting story about how you overcame a challenge. It's the difference between saying, I have 10 years of project management experience, and saying, there was one project where my entire team wanted to quit. The budget was gone, morale was at zero, and here's the one thing I did that turned it all around. What did you just do? You didn't reveal a state secret. You revealed a minor, relatable story of struggle and success. You traded a small piece of your own history to get them to open up. Suddenly, they might share a major professional challenge they're facing right now. This isn't manipulation. It's creating leverage through empathy. It's recognizing that information is a resource to be managed, not a stream to be freely given. Topic 3. Active listening. This is perhaps the most powerful and criminally underrated skill in any profession. But we're not talking about the generic nod your head and repeat what they said type of active listening. A spy listens with all their senses. They're experts at reading a room. They don't just hear the words, they interpret the nonverbal cues, the slight hesitations, the shifts in tone, and the topic someone deliberately avoids. When you truly listen, you can understand someone's true motivations, fears, and desires. Let's say your boss says, the deadline is tight, but I'm sure the team can handle it. The words say confidence, but did their voice tighten on the word tight? Did they break eye contact? Did they fidget with their pen? An agent hears the subtext, I am worried about this deadline and I need reassurance. When you respond not just to their words but to their underlying need, I understand it's a tight turnaround, I've already mapped out a plan to make sure we hit it without burning out. You're demonstrating a level of empathy and understanding that is incredibly influential. You're not just an employee anymore, you're an ally who solves their hidden anxieties. Part 2. Strategic thinking, the mind of a spy. Outsmarting others isn't about having a higher IQ. It's about superior strategic thinking. It's about seeing the entire chessboard, not just the next move. It's about playing a different game than everyone else. Topic 1. Embrace operational prioritization. We all have overwhelming to-do lists. The average person either starts with the hardest task and gets stuck, or the easiest task and feels unproductive. A strategic operator uses the domino effect. When you feel overwhelmed, scan your list and identify the single easiest, quickest task that will create the most momentum. It could be sending one crucial email that unblocks a colleague. It could be making one 5-minute phone call. It's not about the size of the task, it's about its potential to start a chain reaction. By knocking over that first small domino, you get a quick win. This gives you a hit of dopamine, building your confidence and momentum. That psychological fuel makes the next, larger task feel much more manageable. You're not just completing tasks, you're engineering your own motivation. Topic 2. Think long-term. Escape and evasion. In the field, an agent is trained to never get cornered. They always know the exits. They constantly assess their options and maintain mobility. You should do the same in your career and life. Don't rely on a single resource, whether it's one job, one major client, one skill, or one business plan. That's how you get trapped. You need to be constantly cultivating your personal escape and evasion plan. What does that look like in the real world? It means building your professional network before you need it. It means learning a new skill on the side that's unrelated to your current role. It means having a freedom fund in your bank account. By having multiple options, you are more resilient and can adapt quickly when circumstances change. You negotiate from a position of power, not desperation. It allows you to take calculated risks because you know you have a safety net. That is true freedom. Topic 3. Strategic ignorance. This one might surprise you. Spies know that not all information is useful. In fact, in today's world, too much information is a liability. It leads to distraction, confusion, and analysis paralysis. The best operators practice strategic ignorance. They define their mission with absolute clarity, and then they ruthlessly filter out any information that is not critical to achieving that mission. Stop trying to consume every piece of news, every industry article, every email chain. Ask yourself, is this information directly helping me achieve my primary objective right now? If the answer is no, ignore it. Focus on what truly matters to your core goal. This isn't about being uninformed, it's about being strategically informed. Part 3. Mental and emotional resilience, the unshakable mindset. A spy's mind is their ultimate weapon. It's not about being fearless, no one is. It's about managing fear and emotion to make clear, rational decisions when the pressure is at its peak. Topic 1. View failure as feedback. Former Navy SEAL and CIA officer Jason Hansen teaches a powerful concept. Failure is not a final roadblock, it is information. It's data. When you face a setback, you lose a client, a project fails, an investment goes south, the amateur response is to get emotional and dwell on the negative. The professional response is to conduct an after-action report or a debriefing on yourself. Ask 3 simple questions. What happened? What did you do correctly? And what can you do differently next time? This simple framework shifts you from a victim mindset, this happened to me, to an operator mindset. This happened, and here's what I'm doing about it. It depersonalizes failure and turns every single setback into a valuable lesson that makes you stronger, smarter, and more prepared for the next mission. Topic 2. Functional stupidity. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do is to play dumb. In the intelligence world, they sometimes call it functional stupidity. It's about deliberately stripping away your assumptions and expertise to see a problem with fresh eyes. Don't overcomplicate. Don't overthink. When you're stuck on a complex problem, ask yourself, how would a complete novice approach this? What is the most obvious, direct, simple path from A to B? We often build complex mental cages for ourselves based on our own experience and biases. Functional stupidity is about remembering that the most elegant solution is often the simplest. It cuts through the noise and helps you find the answer that was hiding in plain sight all along. The CIA Survival Guide isn't about wearing trench coats and having gadgets. It's about a disciplined, strategic, and resilient approach to life. It's about mastering social dynamics through empathy and storytelling, thinking strategically like a grandmaster, and building an unshakable mind that learns from every outcome. You don't need to apply all of these at once. That would be overwhelming. So here's your mission for this week. Pick just one. Maybe you'll build rapport with a colleague using a personal story instead of just facts. Maybe you'll use the domino effect to conquer your to-do list tomorrow morning. Or maybe you'll face a small setback, and instead of getting frustrated, you'll run a personal debriefing. The path to getting ahead of 99% of people isn't about being born with a secret gift. It's about learning to think like a professional. And now you have the playbook. So, my question for you is, what's your first mission? Which one of these strategies will you deploy this week? Drop it in the comments below.
I want to know what strategy you'll try first. Stay sharp, stay strategic, and I'll see you in the next briefing.